All right. First podcast for me.
Yeah?
Yeah. Is this your first time?
No, I've been back here a few times. Haven't posted any of the podcasts, but
Yeah.
I've done a few, select of them.
Yeah. I'm planning on actually taking this podcast and actually putting it on my channel. Even though really podcasts aren't really a thing that I consider myself one to normally do. Because with me, I never have been like, hey, I'll just sit down and watch a freaking podcast.
It's more like a listen to, because it's a podcast is more of a listening kind of thing.
Right. But though what I do like about this and why I am posting this is because I feel like my personality, or like me with my channel, not a lot of things are clear about kind of who I am, and that's something I kind of want to give out. And that's the one thing I do like about podcasts is that you really do get to see the creator as themselves. You get to see, so this is the type of person and all that, and then you kind of get an idea what to expect, where their ideas come from. So let's one thing though, to get this out of the way, and this is something that if we are continuing to do this, something I'm going to try not to do as much as possible is let my ADD get in the way of things, because sometimes I could talk about one thing and then I talk about them for way too long, and then you start to realize, he's moving on to different topics and all that. So to keep this straight and make sure that it's back and forth with Mike, how about we just talk about what we are doing right now for as far as working, and then we can talk about By the Hand That Kills, our recent video that we've made that is on my channel, Ruhala Chalupa Batman. Check it out and subscribe to my channel.
Yeah, nice plug you got in there.
Yeah. Well, I got to plug it. I also got to plug this factor in, is that you really got to look deep, because for some reason, like originally I just kept my name to Chalupa Batman. Then I found out there was a bunch of other YouTubers that went by the name Chalupa Batman. And so I tried changing my name to Ruhala, but just typing in Ruhala will not give you my account that easily. It will not. You have to look up Ruhala and Chalupa Batman.
Yeah, you can change the channel tags. I'll show you how to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
To make that not much.
But digging for that title. Yeah.
But then you got to dig through videos, and sometimes it can be problematic because a lot of the videos that's like recommended that are mine are when I was first doing my videos, and I was trying to make them as rated R and like raunchy, have some stuff, and that can turn off some maybe viewers are like, oh, my virgin years have been defrailed or something like that.
Defrailed,
yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to really kind of put that down there, and I tried actually doing something with my thumbnails where I do put the rating on there. I didn't do that for the By the Hand That Kills though. So
yeah, well, I mean, it's like it's more of a PG kind of. I would say PG is.
I'd say PG.
Maybe
I go
PG-13.
I go with PG-13. Yeah, there are blood, but it's really fake blood.
No, you can tell it's fake. So it's
actually, Monty Python, The Holy Grail, that was like really gory film, but like you could tell that it was fake blood. Right. So that's probably why it was still given a PG. Then again, it also came out at a time where the rating system was completely mad. But So, who do you have anything to really talk about for what we're doing now? That because I feel like I've talked more than you have.
Yeah. That's first of all, that's very true. Yeah, you have talked way more than I have.
That's how I actually am. By the way, it's a problem.
So what I've been working on is I've been working on my pilot that I've been working on for about 4 years now. It's finally coming into storyboard fruition.
Right.
And I'm super excited about it. It's going to be essentially like, how people do like dystopian cyberpunk?
Right.
Mine's utopian cyberpunk.
Utopian cyberpunk.
Yeah, everything's pretty much gone smoothly. And
well, I mean, I don't want to be a D on this thing, but like there have been some.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm original. I'm just saying that.
Right. Okay. Good.
I'm a little bit of the minority.
You're okay. That's fair to put it.
Yeah. So my kind of thing is like, all right. So unknowingly, I kind of made it a Frankenstein story because it's about a robot who is.
Don't knock Frankenstein.
I'm not knocking Frankenstein.
That's a great story.
I'm just saying that it has ties to Frankenstein that I unknowingly had connected to it because I was like
tropes or like the
not plot wise. It's just that someone resurrects something
Right.
and
they
or well
probably
bring something
and they
to life.
shouldn't have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they play God, and that's sort of like one theme, but the main theme is mainly family because I think family is very important.
How long can we go on with this? By the way,
we can go on for ages, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Yeah,
we're going on until that bell rings, and we kind of have to go.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can hear it from in here. But yeah. So that's great on his part. What's the name of your
Well, my pilot is called Project Zeta, and
is that the name of the show as well?
Yeah, it's the name of the show. It might be changed because there's a DC series that's called The Zeta Project, and it really pissed me off when I found out about it. But I mean, I might stick with it. Can
you say P off?
Yeah, it's fine. Regular show used it. It's fine. So
yeah, if Cartoon Network can use it, soon they'll start saying the F word and be like, hey,
no
SpongeBob just said to Squidward to F off. So, but
Squidward, go yourself.
Squidward, go yourself. Oh God.
No.
Don't worry.
I've been working on this for about 4 years now, and it's about a robot named Asher who is essentially brought back from quote unquote from the dead, or brought to life, given sentience, and the main characters Skylar and Rocco aren't really feeling that, so they steal him. And it's pretty much about kind of finding your place in the world, really. It's sort of a coming of age story, but not really. It's more of just finding your identity and who you are.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I wanted to go with it, and I feel like it's a really good story so far, and I got a great ending for it and everything.
Or at least you're happy with it. And it entertains you. That's kind of how I've.
Yeah, I've given the script to quite a few people. I've even read it to you.
Yeah, I
made some changes to it after some feedback, and it's come out amazingly. I think it's come out absolutely incredible, and I can't wait for everyone to go see it.
Yeah. When you bring up feedback, I actually was with the By the Hand That Kills. What I was really happy about, and it's the first for me, and I feel bad that it's the first for me because I started my channel. I keep the comments not disabled because
you like interacting with people.
I like interacting,
course, yeah.
And I like the constructive criticism. I finally have gotten constructive criticism, and it was great because it was like. The person's because I won't give out the name because I'm not that type of person.
Yeah, just a first initial or something.
And not give just this person. He on Facebook he responded to the video and he was like, "That was a great video. I like how there was this darker tone that isn't usually in your videos." Of course, he hasn't seen my serial killer skit, which I want to go back and kind of redo because it wasn't that great. But he was like, yeah, great for the tone there, but there were some audio balancing issues. And then he was like, well, then there was the unconvincing was Rag Dog. And I looked at it, I was like, was Rag Dog? And it was with this, my phone's going off. Shut up, phone. It was this, he was talking about the Wiz Chadwick character, which in the credits, if you see a character like a person's name that's like Wiz Chadwick or in other one like Steve Stone that's in there, that is just me. I don't like repeating my name in credits because it's like okay, because then I'm starting to look like, oh, this probably might be like a Tommy Wiseau incident. So I just and also just it's fun because then I add in like characters and then there's a little added story. So the Wiz Chadwick, he meant Wiz Ragdoll. Wiz Chadwick is the what it is guy, which you can tell by his voice because it's very high pitch and all that. But he puts a little bit of a southern tang. He doesn't sound exactly like how he did in the what it is video, but yeah. That's just a joke on how his voice almost sounds close to that character. But he was like how I flopped when I got shot as Carson, how I kind of was ragdogging a bit. And I was like, oh, I did ask him, what do you mean by unconvincing? What is that a new slang thing? He's like, oh, and it's like, oh yeah, fair point. And I was happy because it was the first time I've ever gotten any kind of constructive criticism for these videos. I have the comments things up. And I chuck it up to that I don't have a lot of subscribers that are like very active in giving out feedbacks. They're like, oh, here's the like and stuff. And then I'm just like, and that's why I've been pushing the subscribe thing a little bit more. Well, I push it as much as someone should push it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't push it at all, really. I just kind of like, I make content, and if people enjoy it, they can subscribe to me. That's usually my kind of motto. Like, I've been kind of in the rut here. Speaking of YouTube channels, I got my own, Michael B, and people tend to get really...
Don't you also have another one? Because I recently got another, because of the By the Hand that Kill, I got this another subscriber, and his whole entire thing has like, reading the Sonic High School thing, and you were a part of that video.
Yeah, that's not mine. That's
I know it's
I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah.
But mine's just Michael B, and I right now I've been stopped wanting to not do reviews anymore. I've been wanting to do more like, I want to do, of course, these podcast videos. I want to do some like more kind of out there videos.
Right. Yeah. You got to spice it up a bit.
My channel, like it's not called Michael B Reviews. It's just called Michael B.
Right.
But the main content that I have on there right now is reviews, and I want to start like kind of backing away from them because I can't really do much reviews on content that isn't really being produced as much. Right. And I don't push the subscriber thing, but if push comes to shove, usually I will say, if you enjoyed the video,
please subscribe.
Yeah,
that's the basic.
Yeah.
That's how I've kind of tried to put it. But I see why probably with the reviews, like I've always was like thinking maybe I should do like a review video. But the thing though is like I'm kind of a terrible critic. I don't want to say that I'm a terrible. I am very opinionated,
right.
Though a lot of where my opinions come from half the time is somewhat from other people, which is not good.
Yeah.
But over the years I've like, well, what exactly is bad about it? Because it's like I did see these movies and I didn't have a very strong opinion about them, and I see this one guy, I'm like, yeah, he is correct on that. And it's not like it's all the time. There's some films that I've seen critics like, they're like, this was bad, and like, no, like this one guy talked about the Wonder Woman movie, which I won't say is a great film, but it's out of, for DC compared to the movies that DC has made recently, it's Citizen Kane at this point. But he talked about the theme song for Wonder Woman and how it's like this guitar riff doesn't, and like I actually like it. I think it works for Wonder Woman. It's loud. It's like I'm about to die kind of thing.
Like I've always been someone that's just kind of like, when it comes to like making the content, like of course for like reviews, of course. Usually I do talk to people about what they've seen, and usually my opinion forms around what the general consensus is, as well as what I personally think.
Right. And
so
that's somewhat how I work too.
Yeah. In my latest, not my latest review, in the latest project that I worked on, which I'm going to retrospect on, is I talked about it for about 18 minutes, and most of my opinions were just me being me and looking back on it. And I think that's kind of important to do.
Always look back on yourself.
Yeah. Speaking of looking back on, why don't we look back on that By the Hand That Killed?
Oh yeah, let's look back on that, because really what we're doing now, because I did leave it to that there will be more videos that are like the By the Hand That Killed. We're doing a series. We're trying to make a trilogy series out of this, where the second one is going to be a parody of like a war movie. I'm not going to say which one. And
I'm pretty sure they can guess which war movie. There's
a lot of war movies. It's hard to pin down which one.
Notable war movie.
But that's why we're not going to give so much detail about it. We're just going to leave hints. But like, me and Mike have come up with ideas. But it would still actually, these three movies will be connected of this story. There are connections to the other ones because they're all going to be starring the main character, Manson Phelps, who his whole entire thing is going to go through the arc of. I really don't know how to because we haven't really ironing out exactly what his arc is going to end with, but it's going to have a theme about trying to do the right thing, and it's just backfiring on you in this case.
So it's just, I guess, more like a...
That's also like a comedic
joke. So I guess like perseverance.
Perseverance. That's what.
Yeah, like you're standing your ground through this mistakes that just keep happening that you can't really stop.
And now for the second one, I don't know what we're going to name it. I kind of going with the name. I'm thinking about the name, probably going with Brother in Arms, because to keep a pun in the names, Brothers in Arms.
By the hand that kills.
Brother
in Arms.
And then like get another like the third one would just be like Elbow or something.
Where's the parody of John Wick?
Oh God.
When's that gonna come out?
Well, the third one isn't. Maybe the third one might be a parody of John Wick. Maybe. But the third one is going to be a parody, more of a parody of another movie that I think people are like, once it could catch on, they're like, oh, we could catch on a lot of the jokes. But By the Hand That Kills is like, at the moment, we are not yet working on the second story yet. We're actually going to do another video that's separate and gonna not have much of a comedic tone for this one. This is like going to be the least comedic. There might be something at the end. We don't know. We're going to be working on that pretty soon, and that's pretty much what we're doing at the moment, and what we will be doing later down the road. But yeah, as you said, let's talk about By the Hand That Kills. So, let me. I'll let you say some stuff. What did you think about working on it, or something like that?
I felt like it was actually quite fun. I had a lot more fun working on this than I have actually working on like some of my other projects, to be honest.
Yeah, and by the way, this was like such a seamless.
It took like.
I look back on it, and I'm like, wow, like
it just went like that.
It went like that for the day of the shoot. Now, for editing, it did not take.
Well,
just a
yeah,
day.
Of course, but like for
but
shooting,
that was just equally as fun. I had a lot of fun working with that because it was a lot more complex than any scene that I've done. Even like with that. If anyone that actually is subscribed to my channel knows, like, I did this video, it was like the third, actually it might be the fourth video I've ever made, called The Final Stand, which I've always been like thinking about like redoing because it's not as great. There's a lot of issues with it.
Right.
And how that was like the first gunfire like fight I did, and I did it all through Windows Movie Maker. But now that I have the equipment to do a better scene, I should probably go back and redo that one. But yeah that one was very underwhelming on how it wasn't that great. I also, in Serial Killer, I also did fire a gun a lot. Again, another video I've been kind of wanting to redo. But this one was just like such a complex editing process. And I enjoyed every moment about it. I was just kind of giddy. During the Super Bowl, I wasn't watching it. I wasn't really which is kind of sad to admit on the podcast. It's like I was just away editing, but it was like I don't really
force myself to edit.
Yeah,
I'm just a prisoner with a job. All right?
I'm a prisoner. Though I did it in my own because I don't really care about football. I'm not a sports guy.
Yeah, me neither.
I was only there for the Justin Timberlake Super Bowl show.
Why?
Because I liked Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
Yeah, body.
I just like I think that I had a lot of fun. Just like I think my acting has been improving a lot better.
Yeah, it was surprisingly improving. Like not only like with the acting, but with the camera work. Because I had Mike hold the camera, and I was surprised of how well it was. Almost better than mine when I did the shot of you going up, reloading down. Like you kept me framed, and throughout the entire acting process, I was never worried about is this guy not going to have me frame in.
Yeah.
And
how
long have you been working with cameras actually?
I've been working with cameras for I don't remember how long. I just remember when the flip camera was around.
Oh, okay.
That was my first camera.
Oh my god! And you were working with that.
I was working with the flip camera. I even got myself.
Did you ever take classes?
No, I didn't take any classes. My first class was actually last year, and that was Radio TV Film 1.
Wow!
And that was my essentially
similar years for me when I was in Radio TV.
Yeah, when it comes to just keeping it frame, usually I practice the movement first, and then I actually do it, so that way I remember where things go.
Well
that's because I did the practice shot of you reloading.
Which was great, and I loved the shot. Everyone keeps laughing when I reload it, and it's like it was just perfect in how you kept everything in framed. Even with a shot that I was when I was editing, I was like, it's kind of weird. But then I just realized, it's not that bad. Like the one where I'm looking down, we should have probably got a shot of me like with the paper getting up because of the edit to me.
Yeah,
the paper,
it's a jump cut.
It's a weird jump cut.
Yeah.
But besides that, it was a fun time actually working on it, and I'm hyped as heck for the second one. We got to start making flyers, and also if you are a student of Oxford High School, try to hit up us at some point. Be like, hey, I'm in for the second one.
It's gonna be bonkers, man.
We're gonna try to get as many people.
We got someone who's
already
on board.
We got someone that's already on board. he might be on board with a bunch of other projects that we can't announce here, but we will announce later that aren't going to my channel. I'm going to first let them be on Mike, see how they are, received.
I mean, my channel's not really. It's made for experimental, but
but that's the perfect place to have it. Mine is like it's somewhat experimental, but I still get the feeling that I have an expectation from like maybe my family. Like,
I mean, I have expectations too. I have like nearing 500 subscribers.
You got 500 subscribers.
So I got
another reason.
I've got 500 peers looking down on me. You have waiting for.
I only have 20. How did you get 500?
I made shitty reviews.
Dude, remember?
I'm sorry.
We'll just edit that out if we have to.
Right.
Because I'll just take this and just put it in a censor bar or something. Just remember.
Right.
Now, that one you could have controlled. I don't know why.
I make crappy reviews, Joey.
You make crappy reviews.
I make crappy reviews.
You make crappy reviews.
Yeah. Now you have a good cut because then we got some silent.
Yeah, we got a good cry.
All right.
Like that. But
yeah, like I've been.
You said a bad word.
I've been like working on these fan show reviews for like a year or two now, and
same here. Like
I've been. I mean, I got a community. Not many people actually like me for whatever reason. I know my reasons, but. It's not something,
They still subscribe and they're watching, so.
Yeah. They take the time out of their day to hit the dislike button. That's the Jake
Paul effect. That's the Paul gain effect. It doesn't matter if they hate our guts. We can say, okay, they still make videos about us so they can pay the bills.
No, actually, they don't make videos about me. They just take the time out of their day to hit the dislike button.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's very demotivating, but at the same time, it's like, you can do better. Like it gives you the sense like you can do better.
You can do better.
They expect better.
I'm still waiting for my first dislike. I haven't got that yet.
I mean, surprisingly, usually I have very low dislike numbers. So whenever I have like a huge dislike jump, I get really like upsetty. So
upsetty Piscetti.
Yeah, I just like I picture my channel as being kind of like a hub for me to just kind of work on whatever I want to work
Whatever
on.
you feel like.
Like, if I want to post a gaming video of just some silly moments, I'll post a gaming video of silly moments that I did with my friends. If I want to do reviews, I'll post reviews. If I want to do something, I can do something.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I want my basis for my channel to be, and that's always what it has been. It's called Michael B for a reason, and there's never going to be changed from that.
Yeah, mine is like... My whole entire thing is that I'm just trying to improve my acting and directing and that because I want to make movies like when I'm done with school or at some point.
Right.
But yeah, so back to the By the Hand That Kills. Now, it was a very quick process in coming up with the idea, because I always wanted to do
a serious.
I just wanted to, not serious. Well, I want to do serious acting. That one wasn't the most serious.
No, you wanted to do something a little bit more serious. I remember you telling me like, "Hey, I want to do." Like you were like,
yeah.
At first, it was like you wanted to do horror, and I was like, maybe we could do like suspense or something, like L.A. Noir or something. I don't think I was the one that came up with the L.A. Noir theme. I think you were the one that did it.
Yeah, I was the one.
And I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
I'm playing the crap. I'm playing L.A. Noir right now on my Switch, and that was in my mind. And then I thought about how could we do a action scene with only guns. 2 people, and under the school's regulations, and I was just like a handgun fight because then I just remembered how kind of I did this one.
Yeah, like you're like
my very first.
I think we were like handgun fight, and then I was like, or I think we were like I said finger guns, and you're like, oh yeah, handguns. And
yeah, finger guns, handguns. I did a skit, my very first skit, which was it's rated R on the thumbnail and because of swearing and stuff in there. But that it had the same kind of ending thing where though like the whole entire setup of this guy. He's working on his thing. He's typing away. This other dude that's on the bed is like keeps like doing the pew 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 kind of thing, annoying him. And he's like 3 times like, "Hey, can you stop?" But the third time, the guy's like, "Oh, you want me to stop this gun?" And he points it at him, and he's like, "Bang!" And the guy falls down dead. And then the guy's like, "What the f?" He grabs like a napkin thing, wipes his hand, just drops and walks away. That's the very first video I've done, and I was like, oh, that'd be a fitting way to do that.
Yeah, kind of come back in.
Well, not yeah.
Right. Yeah. So.
But that wasn't like I didn't have that in mind. I didn't have it in mind when I made By the Hand That Kills.
Now that you think about it, it's actually more of like a quadrilogy because you got the prequel as the first video you've ever made,
which could have been this new breed of human.
Yeah.
This new breed of human. They're rare. Though the military is able to find like a bunch of them. and they're able to
Right.
make guns with only in their imagination. You can't see the effect.
Well, you can make any weapon with your imagination.
Yeah, but they treat it like it's a real thing in their world. Because
It's just crazy. It's funny, and that's like
that
it's
was so
fine.
yeah, and that's why we wanted to do the scene where we did it seriously. We kind of played it out pretty seriously. In the back of our minds, being like, "This is going to be really stupid."
Yeah,
like,
we
great
knew
stupid.
we knew it was stupid from the beginning.
We try to make it as dumb as possible. Well, it's just silly and goofy with a little bit of a twist. Originally, yeah, we just kept it to that, and I remember in like the original like script. Once I found it was like, oh my god, you're probably not dead. I'm gonna kill you for whatever you've done with my wife. And like there was supposed to be another shot with me being like, oh, he's actually dead. He's
Yeah,
dead
but
with a
no.
bulletproof. But then I was like, we were just like, let's keep it to that. It's funny if we just.
I straight up told you, I was like, let's just keep it to that. Let's just end off with son of a, and then you get the idea.
And then I just when editing the Super Bowl, I then just put in the cards that explaining it and setting up for the second one, which will begin.
Probably in the springtime, right?
Well, I feel like we can do. I keep playing with the idea that we shouldn't do. My mind's all going over the place because of like how I want like the stuff to be. Maybe we could do the main war part during the spring, but we can.
You know, it'd be really funny though.
We could film the beginning.
Do it in the PAC.
The PAC.
Yeah, do it in the pack. Let's do the second one in the pack, so we don't have to worry about what time of the year it is.
Right. Yeah, that's the.
And then we can
we can do the gym.
And then you can use the chairs and like bring up like the tables and just, like that, like.
But that would be weird for like a war setting.
Well, no, it'd be funny. Like, or I mean, it's supposed to be stupid. You get the idea.
You could do some shots in like this little weird room that's.
Okay, I mean, it's gonna.
If we can get permission.
If
but
it's
for the most
gonna,
part, I was also thinking maybe like the main gym, because then it would be easy because we could just do the shoots. Because the beginning portion of it and like the ending part is all of like what's happening now, and then the main war bit is something that happened in the past for Marson. So we could do like the prison parts. Any time like
hey bud, what's your story?
We just need to write the script and we have some jokes, though I feel like one of them is like, even though it doesn't go out the way Have You Played, and it's very like kind of innuendo-ish, I don't know how the school can be with sometimes. It's not like with the Jason the new kid part where
I mean, if it gets cut out, then
if we have to, it's like that's why we have to set up it like it's like a separate thing. Though
I mean, you could always make the
you couldn't gain anything or
version.
lose anything from it. Maybe you might gain something, but you wouldn't lose anything if you took it out.
Yeah, so it's fine. It's
fine. It's one of those scenes that we can put in, and it's like more like just trying to make fun of a prison trope or a prison joke kind of thing. I now was saying prison joke, people are automatically going to assume what type of joke we mean.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you already said innuendo, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they're knowing, they're getting an idea, but we have a fun little twist on that. So we could do that pretty soon. We just need to write, and then we got to get some people. Brandon Sank probably could. He might be up for it.
Might be, yeah.
He seems like he's always up for it.
Yeah, Sam would probably most definitely
Sam,
come in for
Sam
that.
we know he's going to come in.
Yeah.
We can have him as more characters we want to keep in the themes of the original one.
Right.
But when writing it, I had so much fun doing it. I like with the one person that criticized, that gave that little nitpick, constructive criticism. Yeah, I could go back and like redo how Carson, falls over dead. But there's not a whole lot like I can complain about it. It was a really fun video to do.
It's gonna be a lot of fun, especially the second one. That's gonna be a lot of fun too.
That one's gonna probably be more than one day of shooting.
Oh, most definitely. There's no doubt about it.
One for locations, two to try to set up the actors so they can't they're not like I don't know how. I wouldn't assume they would screw up their simple job, which is like, look like you're fighting or something like that. Or like, if two of you, if you feel like it, just come at each other. Don't actually hurt each other. If you do, we are not reliable.
If you feel like it, just fall over, pretend you're dead.
Yeah, fall over, you're dead, and keep things kind of simple, and then with the third one, that one would be a much simpler one, though it would still also take more days of shooting, but we wouldn't have to get so many extras like it, because the joke of like the third one is more making fun of it's making fun of how the movie that we're parodying is, you know,
right? Yeah,
with the bad guys. But
I think we're going a little bit, we're going a little too long here. I think it's time to wrap it up a little bit.
Yeah, so that's basically it. We love you. Bye.
Joey, how dare you?
You're only mad because... Oh, you should probably bring up how... I'm not certain how many people realized or noticed in the By the Hand That Kills, when Fanson got to the last part of the line, he just made a little noise. I don't know how many people are aware that Mike just did that.
I don't think... No, it wasn't on purpose. It was like... It was just...
But it's funny to assume that he did that on purpose. It was like, just out of nowhere to conduct out... Oh, he's worried now that...
Love Fanson.
Love Fanson.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, it was a fun process making By the Hand That Kills. We're excited to do the second one, and be on the rare for this other video that we're working on, which should be coming out pretty soon. It's probably going to take one day of shoot as well for this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was fun as a first time for a podcast, I would say.
Yeah. Well, goodbye, lovelies.
Bye.
Please subscribe. I'm very lonely.